Shalom. Before I begin this video, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well to this very day. Let us continually feed and flock through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. And also Shalom to the hopeful elect that is our labor in this work. It's giving your due diligence to make your calling and election sure, in faith and truth and sincerity and all charity. Now, the topic of this video is going to be entitled, Come Into a City Near You. Alright, in which this is concerning the recent uproar or protest that's been popping up everywhere. You know, not only is it in your major cities, but it's also making its headway towards other cities. Case in point, here where I live, here in Huntsville, Huntsville, Alabama, is now you're starting to see, as well, you're starting to see riots and uproars of the people. So, it's spread all across America. All right, the recent occurrence, of Jake, so-called Negroes, and not just so-called Negroes, but also so-called Hispanics and so-called Native American Indians being put to death by the hands of Esau, or Edom, which is the true biblical nationality of the so-called white man, in which now you see an uproar of the people, in which this is all by design. Okay, it's all by design. It's all planned out, and really, what was really planned out is the BLM. Which the acronym BLM stands for Black Lives Matter, which we already know the history behind BLM. We know the history of how that came about, in which really, if you go into the inner workings of BLM, it wasn't set up for the betterment or the welfare of you so-called Negroes, in which they deem as black. All right, in which they still hold that label towards the so-called Negroes, to the Judites. All right, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, calling them so-called black, in which we're not black. All right, even goes as far as to say, or as far as to say that we're, black Hebrew Israelites, in which we're not black, man. All right, I can show you a pair of shoes or a shirt that's black, that's actually black, but we're not the same skin color, but that's no topic for another video concerning that, in which that's true, that we're all different shades of brown, as pursuant to where we came from. All right, which we know we came from the ground. But as far as this goes, all right, the BLM movement, now, since recent occurrence, now they found an excuse to ramp that up once again, because back you had different protests that went on, but nothing really stood out. Nothing really broke forth before, because it wasn't time yet. All right, but now it's being brought back to the forefront for the sake of forwarding the agenda of the higher ups of Esau, or the bankers, because they want everything locked down. All right, they want everything locked down. They want everything under their control. And in order to do that, you have to have some sort of excuse to do that. All right, and what perfect way to do it than this? The coronavirus didn't get it. All right, you had different other occurrences that happened back before that didn't get it. All right, so things like this is what's being used to further their agenda. Okay, And it's getting closer and closer to that time to where they're gonna just completely shut everything down and become a police state. We're already in the police state, all right? But what they're gonna do is they're going to have it to where it's going to be under complete control, to where all your resources and your traveling, all that's going to be under their control. All right. And the only way you'll be able to get from point A to point B, or to do certain things, is by their permission. All right. Because, people saying that, or try to rally for their freedoms, which really, your so-called freedom, that's a privilege that's been given unto you by the bankers. All right. Believe it or not, that's a privilege. Okay, you have a privilege to go from point A to point B. You have a privilege to go and buy whatever you want to buy. All right, but other than that, that privilege can be taken away from you as easily. Okay, and this is a great time, or a great situation to use to do that. Okay, but I got a article right here showing you, which is the city that I live in. Now you have protests going on. It's still going on right now as I'm speaking. But not only this city but other cities as well is gonna also have the same things that's going on. Okay, to the point to where Esau has no choice but to act. Okay, troops are already on the ground, but it's going to intensify. All right. Now, I'm going to grab 2 Ezra chapter 15. This is verse 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes." Right. So that sedition is being uplifted, and this is through the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. Okay. It says they shall not regard their kings nor princes. Right. So these people, man, they're not regarding their higher authorities. The governors, the senators, even to your president. All right. They're not regarding the kings and the princes. All right. Reading on, it says, "In the course of their action shall stand in that power." All right. So right now, it's the course of their actions is standing in their power. All right. They're doing everything that is that they can do to make sure that their voice is heard. All right. Doing the things that they're doing, hoping that their voices are heard. Okay. Because marching down the street, holding hands, peaceful marching, this and that, and the third, that didn't get it before time. So now the people are starting to realize that, hey, us locking arms and marching peacefully, that's not going to get anything done. All right. So now they're taking things into a whole nother level. See, now they're starting to get physical. And they realize that that's the only way to make your voice heard. Okay. Verse 17, it says, "A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able." And that's right. So it's going to get to a point in time where a man going to desire to go into the city and not going to be able to. All right. Traveling, having your resources, your necessities, all that's going to be under complete control. And that's what they want. All right. So a man going to desire to go into the city and you're not going to be able to. Okay. Verse 18, it says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." See? Now, not only this, but you also have these Edomites that are also taking part in this in this event. You know, you have Edomites that's also taking part in the protests. All right. So now you got Edom. Slovakia. Now you got Edom that's coming up against his own. All right. Now this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 2. And not only is this scripture really is going into Esau, all right, or Edom, which are the modern day Egyptians. Okay, because right now we dwell in the city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, which is that house of bondage. And the Egyptians that are here, the modern day Egyptians, these are the Edomites. Okay. In which, let me go ahead and read it. It's verse 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." See? So, the Lord setting the Egyptians against the Egyptians. The Lord setting the Edomites against the Edomites. All right? Setting them one against another and fighting each other. Okay? Verse 3, it says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards." See? So, right now, the spirit of Egypt, which is the spirit of America, which is Babylon the Great in the Bible, which again, the spiritual called Sodom and Egypt, the spirit of America is failing. All right? See, now people's so-called freedoms are being tested. All right? Because America was one of its I want to say, how should I put it, not a motto, but basically what it stands for. All right. You know, America pretty much, one of the main things that America stands for is liberty, which is what? Freedom. Okay. And guess what? Now people's freedoms are being tested. Okay. So the spirit of Egypt, right, which is have promoted liberation and freedoms and justice. Because another thing that America perpetuates, justice. See, now that the spirit of America, which is all that which I just explained, which comes to America, that's failing. All right, is non-existent. Okay, because it never was non-existent, but this so-called American dream, which these people thought that this place was for liberation, for freedom, and for justice, now is being made bare. Okay, let me grab another precept here. All right, it's book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse. I'm starting at verse 1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne." Which again, Babylon the Great in the scriptures is known as America. Okay. It says, "O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh. Pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen." And another good example is, I believe, I'm trying to remember who it was. I believe it was North Korea. Kim Jong-un, right? In which he made a statement to Trump, telling him to worry about what's going on in his own country, in his own land. And this was about a year or so ago, or about a year or 2 years ago.
he made that statement in which, when he said that, you know, that lets you know that not only North Korea is watching, but the whole world is watching. The whole world is watching America blow up in flames. All right. And really that's sending a message to the other nations saying, oh, wait, America is just like us, because we got protests and we have riots and civil unrest going on in our nation. Now America is like that. All right. So America is now as weak as we are. All right. That's Joel. I believe it's Joel the second chapter. Yeah, Joel the second chapter as well. But there's another scripture that says, "Ye have become weak as we are." Roughly paraphrasing. But read verse 2 again. It says, "Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers." Right, showing the shame and nakedness of America. Now America is being seen for what she really is. All right, a harlot that is drunken from the blood of the nation of Israel, from the nation of Israel, consisting primarily of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay. This is thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. All right. So the nakedness and shame of America is being seen. And what's that nakedness and shame? The slaughter of the sons of Israel. All right. That's that nakedness and that's that shame. There's another scripture in Habakkuk, right? Let me get it real quick, and I'm gonna end it off on that. Slack you. All right, it says, book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 16. It says, "Thou art filled for shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered." Right, and this also goes into Esau, because Esau is I don't want to say leader, but Esau basically owns America. Okay, so if Esau's nakedness is being shown and Esau is being made bare, guess what? America as a whole is being made bare. Okay, the atrocities which have taken place here in America now is being shown in the forefront. Okay, now it says, "Let that foreskin be uncovered." Reading on, it says, "The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory." Right, so that shameful spewing as a form of puking, throwing up. All right, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing now you're seeing Esau puking on his glory. All right, and what's being puked out? His atrocities, his wickedness, what he's done to the nation of Israel, his legislation, his track record, what he's done to the so-called Native American Indians, and how he got this land. The harsh treatment of the nation of Israel. See, all this is being put out in the forefront. Now it's being spewed out, and Esau can't control it, because when you're in the state of puking and throwing up, you can't control that. All right, there's absolutely nothing you can do. You can try to hold it in, you can try to keep it in, inside or whatever, but eventually it's going to come out, and that's what's happening. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and end off on that note. Our Lord's will is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. Until next time, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well to this day. And also shalom, peace and safety, and salutations to the hopeful elect that is still laboring this work, showing forth your diligence to make your call and election sure, in faith and truth and sincerity and all charity. And with that, go say shalom.